Sentinel Sports Central will be going over a college football game preview and prediction on a big matchup coming up in the ACC in Week 11 of this 2020 season. That's going to be between the Virginia Tech Hokies and the Miami Hurricanes. And this is going to be a big matchup, probably the biggest matchup in the ACC this week. You got two teams that are some of the best teams in the ACC for that matter. Miami is currently ranked 3rd, and Virginia Tech is number 5 in the ACC conference right now. And you also got Miami being the 9th ranked team in the nation. So this is a very important game for the Hurricanes if they're still wanting to make a run at the ACC championship and possibly the college football playoff. I mean, who knows if Miami pulls off an upset if they make it to the ACC championship game. I mean, that puts Miami in the playoffs. So, I mean, the chances are still for real for Miami to make it to the playoff this season. But they have to get past Virginia Tech first, that is for sure. But we're going to be going over a full game preview and prediction on this one here today, starting out with their team trends. Last week, Virginia Tech lost to Liberty. That was a bad loss there for the Hokies. I mean, Liberty's a good team, but I think Virginia Tech definitely should have won that matchup. But in the end, Liberty got the win by 3 there. And then Miami also had a really close game to NC State. 44-41 was the final score there. We saw the Hurricanes get the win, but man, that was a close game there between NC State and Miami. Win streaks for both these teams. Virginia Tech is 4-3 with a 1-game losing streak. Then Miami is the 9th ranked team in the nation. They're 6-1 with a 3-game winning streak. So their only loss that the Hurricanes have right now is to Clemson, I believe. And that was a couple of weeks back. And ever since that Clemson loss, they've been a little bit down in the rankings, but they're kind of back in the same position that they were towards the beginning of the season now at number 9. So that's a good, comfortable position for Miami right now. This game's going to be on Saturday, November 14th, noon Eastern in Blacksburg. So Virginia Tech will be your home team for this matchup. Spread currently says Virginia Tech by 2.5. ESPN FPI's got Virginia Tech 62%. And then the Vegas prediction actually is Miami here, 31-25 being the final score prediction as of now. So it's kind of one of those rare circumstances where you got a team that you would expect to be an underdog actually favored by a decent amount. I mean, Virginia Tech 62% on the ESPN FPI is pretty surprising. Also considering, I mean, you got Miami who's ranked 9th in the nation, and then Virginia Tech isn't even ranked. But in the end, I mean, it makes sense to have a close spread between both these teams because of how close their matchups usually are. But in the end, yeah, this is, I mean, it just makes this match so much more intriguing, knowing how close the spread is for this matchup. But here's your stat comparison for this game. These are your 2020 current stats. Virginia Tech has 37 points per game, 31 points allowed. They got 187 pass yards a game, 277 rush yards. Then for yards allowed, they got 257 passing, and then 202 rushing. As for Miami, they got 34 points per game, 24 points allowed. They got 270 pass yards a game, 172 rush yards. And then for yards allowed, they got 245 passing, and then 148 rushing. So all around, Miami is better in the stat comparison, I would say. I mean, they've got a better points per game to points allowed ratio. Their defense looks better in both areas. And all around, I mean, Miami's just been really good in the passing game as well. You got Derek King, who is a transfer in from Houston, and he's been absolutely great for Miami this season. He's probably definitely a top 3 quarterback in the ACC, one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, you could argue as well. I mean, he's put up 1,800 yards already this season, which is incredible. He's also got a 16-4 touchdown to interception ratio, which is also really good. I mean, if you can have that touchdown to interception ratio as a 4-1 or higher, all around, that's really good. And so for Derek King, he's looking like a great quarterback right now. As for Virginia Tech, they got Hendon Hooker, of course, at quarterback, which, I mean, he's had some good seasons, but, I mean, this season, he's been a little bit underwhelming, and I think Virginia Tech, I mean, who knows how the quarterback situation is going, but, yeah, he's got 870 yards so far this year with 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the end. Looking at some key points for this one, of course, Virginia Tech has got some consistency issues that they do have to get fixed up if they're going to be a top team in the ACC, which, I mean, they are close to the top. They're number 5 right now, but if they want to get any higher, they got to be more consistent. Like, you can't be taking losses to Liberty. Like, Liberty's a good team, but you should have won that game. It was within 3 points. And then you also got Wake Forest, of course. They should have beaten them a couple of weeks back. And they also lost to North Carolina a little while back. So all around, Virginia Tech has just taken a couple of bad losses this season, and honestly, outside of the 3 losses that they've had, I mean, Virginia Tech has been a good team. Like, they've gotten a couple of good blowout wins. They blew out Boston College a few weeks back. So, I mean, all around, Virginia Tech, I still think that this team has potential moving forward, especially if they could get a huge upset win here over Miami. That could be huge for the Hokies moving forward. I mean, it jump them up pretty high in the rankings, I would assume, and also gives them a really good look moving forward into the rest of the season. As for Miami, though, yeah, they're building back momentum after their lost to Clemson for sure. I mean, we've seen 3 straight wins out of them, and all around they're looking pretty good. But I think that Miami genuinely is still a candidate to be a top ACC team. Like, we've seen Notre Dame and Clemson, they went head-to-head last week. We actually saw Notre Dame win. So Notre Dame is your top team in the ACC right now. But, I mean, who knows? Miami could possibly beat out Clemson or Notre Dame to get that position. Like, it's still very possible. We've got a decent amount of time still remaining in the season for that to happen. So for Miami, you just got, I mean, the best thing that the Hurricanes can do right now, if they want to get into that position, is they just got to keep winning. Like, you can't be taking any bad losses at this point. Like, they've been pretty close to taking some losses over the past 3 weeks. Once again, with Virginia and NC State, both of those games were pretty close. But Miami, I mean, this team still has potential to put up a big season, so watch out for that. But do expect moderate scoring here. I do think both offenses should score a decent amount of points in this matchup. And that being said, here's my prediction for this one. I've got the Hurricanes winning this matchup. So I'm actually going against the spread here, which is a little bit surprising once again, considering Virginia Tech isn't even ranked in comparison to Miami. But Miami, I do expect them to get the win here by 11. Your final score is going to be 38-27, or that's my prediction at least. Your halftime score is going to be 24-20. Probability, I'm going to give it 60% to Miami. I'm not all that confident with this pick. Like, if you're into betting, I would not bet on this game a single bit. Like, Virginia Tech, it would not surprise me a single bit if the Hokies got the win here, and that's just me personally. Like, I think Virginia Tech has got potential to get a win here. Like, the Hokies really don't have much to lose right now. I mean, the thing is if there's any pressure on any of these teams here, it would be on Miami, because Miami is a team that's at the top of the rankings right now. They're a top 10 team. They're kind of on the outside of being a college football playoff contender. And yeah, a lot of pressure's on them right now. Meanwhile, for Virginia Tech, they got nothing to lose. I mean, they're 4-3. And if they keep winning, that's just going to keep giving them a better position. So, I mean, that's why it's such an important game for both these teams moving forward. But yeah, that being said, that represents my prediction on this game. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Your score prediction is all of that. In the comments, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But then again, thanks again for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. And if you enjoyed this preview, slap a like on it. I will see you all later.